All right. Look, Pixel T, come on. All right. This is the first time first time I'm using Restream. I'm exploring stuff. I'm trying stuff out. Mic check. Uh, anybody? Yeah, mic check this. I really like this neon one with the funk beat. They're all pretty cool. Um, I don't know. It's different, you know. I mean, I since it's the free version, you can't upload your own stuff and everything. So it's like, yeah, it's like starting all over again. That's kind of weird. But last time I was using, what's it called? I was using EV Mux, right? So I guess I'm kind of like exploring different options than just freaking StreamYard, right? So I was thinking, now I was actually thinking, like, well, this will be the restream experience. But what about like OBS, right? OBS seems to be like the freaking shit, right? So I think I'm gonna get like next time I might go live with OBS and try something out with OBS. I don't know. I'm exploring the options right now. Anyway, shout out to the chat. Got 10 people watching right now. Hit the like button. Share this out. We got in the house. We have. Let me see. We have a lot of people here. Travis is in the house. Welcome to the show. Our poll says peace. Peace. Our poll. Pixel T is in the house. Who else? And that's pretty much, I think, the whole chat. Yeah. So this is a Untitled. Anything goes. Let me see. This is how you drop the link. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I think I pinned it at the top of live chat, right? So it should be there. Anybody wants to join the show, you're welcome to. It's also in the just dropped it in chat for anybody. So yeah, that's it. I do. Yeah, I think I was kind of thinking of restreaming Z's show because he's going live right now, and he's going to do a response video to Melodome, which I don't know, piques my curiosity, ladies and gentlemen. Piques my curiosity. So I'm just wondering, like, how come he's not going live? It's like he was supposed to go live at 2, which was like 10 minutes ago. So I guess he's just fashionably late. Something like that. Yeah, I'm just like, go ahead and watch that since it's live, right? And maybe on the way we'll have some people up. I have a limit of 6 people today, so we can't go up to 10. And that's sad. So maximum 6 people on the panel. Can't have any more. I'm just testing out Restream. Last broadcast, I think I was testing EV Mugs, which was interesting too. It was not bad. Then what else was there? Oh yeah, now maybe next I'll be going with OBS. You never know. So just trying stuff out. And plus, been doing a lot of work lately, so I haven't had a lot of time to do live streams. So I haven't been around. I went up over on to Jack's and Flow State the other day, I think. Who else did I go to? Who? Oh yeah, NBC. But I think I restreamed those ones, I think. Yeah. So that's it. 17 people watching, man. Hit the like button. I guess I'll get the restream going. Hey, restream on restream. So I'm curious, guys. I need to know what the hell's going on. Ooh. So that's what it looks like? Ooh. That's not bad. I don't know. What do you guys think of the layout? Like, well, what are your thoughts on the layout? Like how this looks and everything, and I don't know. I kind of find it, a bit strange. Arpol says, I still don't get the male pan. Excusez-moi. He goes, I still don't get the Mel Pandora drama. Okay, well, hold on. Let me get back to. How do I get back to? Oh my God, he's going live. Oh my God. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, all right, let's just turn off his music and just put that full screen. And how do I get myself full screen? Can I do it like this? Can I move it like that? Oh yeah. Hey, this is cool. I like this. This is awesome. Okay, that's actually not really Z on the bottom there, all right? Just for your information. Okay, so all right, I got. Let me see what the hell you're saying. Z and Nachaquifa. She'll never talk about flat Earth after the final experiment in Antarctic where it showed 24-hour sun. Oh God, you're not one of those, are you? Fucking Tarek. That was a scam. Okay, the whole thing was a scam, and we've got the footage. We've got the footage. Much love, gay Tarek. What am I saying? I wasn't supposed to say that. Uh, I was just repeating what our poll was saying. There you go. Ah, damn it. What about it, that? What about that inauguration, guys, tomorrow? How about that? Huh? Isn't that going to be something? We're already there, guys. This is cool. I can actually hide the chat from stream, but I think it's cool to have the chat on screen like that. It's pretty interesting. When I didn't say, yeah, I guess it was the big G that kind of got me there, Arpol. That scripted. Almost everyone on YouTube platforms are actors, and some are acting, but at least into truth. Much love. No. Okay. By the way, TikTok is back. Huh. It's back. It was gone. I don't get it. I thought it was gonna be banned. I didn't have any idea it was already banned and now it's back again. Now I'm confused. I thought that was going to get banned when Trump gets into office, right, or something like that. Or is it that me and my confusion again? Could be me and my confusion again. Who bought it, Arpol? Yeah, who bought it, Arpol? Donald Trump? No way. I don't believe you. So you've got the Elon Musk who have the X and Trump that buy TikTok? No way. It's gonna be TikTok Trump. TikTok Trump. Trump the TikTok. I wonder if it still has the music playing. Is the music? Yeah, it's the music. A lot of music over at the Zetetic Warrior broadcast. Arpol, come on. You're not tired of the G native R and try something else, okay, la? Stop fucking around. Let me see the camera work here. Oh, the camera and the virtual background working. Everything is working. Yeah. All right. What's good? Look within. Welcome back to the show. I see you there. You are on the screen. Look at that. We can see you on the screen. We know that you are here watching the show. So the link is pinned at the top of the live chat, and anyone who want to join, go ahead and join. And then we have This us maybe we reviewing the esoteric because it's not the fact that it's because it's the melodome, and we all know these people. We know the esoteric and we know the melodome, and now there's going to be some drama there. And I don't want to cover the Mel Pandora drama thing. You know why? Because it's already been pretty much about covered. Ah, pff. So I tend not to want to linger on old news. So this is news. New news, right? Hey, Rachel Zinger's in the house. What's up, Rachel? Nice to see you too. So that's what's good. All right. Now I'm wondering, let's go listen to see if still the music. Oh yeah, hit the music. Can't help with the music. Eh? What about that inauguration tomorrow, huh, guys? How about that? Huh? You guys actually think that Canada is gonna be the next state? Huh? Do you think Canada's gonna need a governor? Oh, we got people in the comment section. I am always good spirited. Da, 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 la la la. Okay, that's okay. Let me see. Is it still music? Yes, it's still music. Very long music intro. Very very long. We need some action, not the music. Action. Live. Camera. Action. Get the thing on the road. Get it moving. And plus the music. All right, I was having a little fun there. So I was losing my mind. Okay, let me see. Good check. I have the chat over here. I look at the chat. Nice people in the chat. Oh, even the Jacket Talcott in the chat. There's a lot of people over there in the chat. It's a nice chat. Big chat. But not the best chat. We have the best chat. We are the ones that have the best chat in the world. Oh my God, what is this music thing gonna go on and on and on? Z loves his show tunes. Yes, I agree. Ugh. It's on. We need to get on with the show, man. We need that interaction with the Melodome. I mean, what are your thoughts, people, on the? I mean, come on, Tarek. You gotta have your opinion on the Mel Pandora thing. I mean, we could talk about that while we waiting. I mean, seriously, what are your thoughts? I didn't review it, but we doesn't mean I don't. We can't talk about it. I mean, what are your thoughts, right? Like, do you actually think it was? I don't know. It's like, who knows? It looked kind of like I watched the Speakeasy breakdown, and I was kind of like agreeing with him. Yeah, I think it was kind of like, oh, it doesn't seem set up, and then they made it look. It made it out to be looked set up, and in either way, it's all lies. So it's like, fuck, man. I don't know. I don't even know what all that Mel stuff is about. Right. Well, see, Look Within doesn't even know. You see, well, maybe I should have fucking reviewed that shit. You know? I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's go see. It's probably still music. Oh, yeah. Yeah, still music over there. A lot of music over there. I think I need a cookie. I'll go get a cookie. I'd put on a little bit of this small music, not very loud. Um, where were we? Drama for drama's sake. I like that. OTW. It's all scripted. Um, you mean the Mel stuff? Right. But either way, they lied.
That's right, guys and dolls.
Oh ho ho.
Yes, yes. You found your way to the show. With me, your host, Z. That's right. Welcome. Gather round. Greetings and salutations.
Greetings.
Come one, come all. To the show that never ends. The show that's all about me, really. Sorry. Get your own show. You can have your own show. It's called YouTube. It's got you right in the name. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. This is mine. Go get yours. But either way, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Wherever you may find yourself in this lovely place we call Earth. It's Sunday. Well, here where I am, it's Sunday. It's not Sunday for some people. Like my Aussie friends, my New Zealand friends. It's tomorrow. It's the future. So good news, people. If you hear from an Aussie friend, you know that you at least have like 12 hours ahead of you. The world didn't end yet because they're in the future. So it's Monday for them, but it's Sunday for us. The day that we worship the sun god, Helios. Some called him Apollo and other names. Kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love nature myself, but I don't know if it should be worshipped.
Pretty weird.
Wouldn't that be a mistake to worship the creation ahead of the creator? I don't know. I'm just positing a few things here, wondering. But they love the sun god so much that they placed it in the center of everything. Well, the center of our solar system, at least. Interesting. I mean, that would have been a great idea if they could substantiate that model and that claim. Turns out they can't. Now, not everybody agrees. As you see, the title of today's stream, the Not So Melodome Response Stream, Melodome kind of thinks they got it right when they put that Helios right in the center of our solar system. I mean, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but I don't really have to. He kind of said it himself, but we're going to get into it. We'll let him speak. But yeah, the sun god Helios. Very important to these people. Who are these people, Z? You racist against the elite? No, I'm not. These people. The ones that are not you. The ones that are in that big club that you're not in? Yeah. That's those people. Call them what you want. The black nobility, the bloodline elites, the lizard, reptilian shapeshifters. Whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. It's them, those people. Yeah, they stuck the sun right in the center of everything. But again, turns out that it really doesn't hold up to scrutiny. I mean, you could postulate a bunch of things, but unless it's really evidenced and substantiated, proven, well, really doesn't mean much. Again, at least not in my book. To some people, I guess it means a whole lot. But again, blessings, greetings. We're all on this ship together. Turns out it's kind of like a ship of fools. Traveling, I don't know. Maybe upwards. That's another topic. Certainly not rotating. Certainly not orbiting. You know, because of reasons. What reasons would that be, Z? Well, one primary reason is because matter tends to be displaced when there's a change in motion. Isn't that interesting? Due to a little thing called inertia. That's kind of how we know. We don't even need like science. We don't even need research. You just need a little thing called logic and the ability to use critical thinking and your God-given sovereignty of mind, soul, and consciousness. That's about it. Everybody's so hung up on science. Science, see? There's a Nathan Oakley crowd here. Much love. Shout out to the FED people. QE, even that Neil. Shout out, everybody. But you're going to hear it here from Z. You're a little too hung up on the science. I get it. Science is important for all kinds of things. We use it every single day. This mystical, reified, personified science. I get it. No need to be hung up on it. Just logic. That's all you really need. The globe doesn't work logically. That's all. It's not hard. The Nile River can't flow uphill for 2,000 miles. You get it, guys? That's half the Nile River, which means half of it would have to flow uphill against gravity. That's impossible. Get it? Just like the rotating and orbiting stuff that I mentioned a few minutes ago, because of displacement of matter due to inertia, it's impossible. So yeah, Austin, I know you're listening today. Much love, brother. But you're off the reservation. You're out somewhere, I don't know where you are. We're calling you back, Austin. This is your cattle call, back. Come on, Austin. Come back to sanity. Come back to reason and logic. Come back to reality. Because that globe and that heliocentric model that you're basically positing, presupposing, and postulating, it's impossible, my friend. But again, we'll get into it more. It's fine. My audience knows I'm edging. I edge you. I bring you to the point of satisfaction, to the point of climax, and then I pull back. I know it's frustrating, but in the end, you will thank me. And I will leave you satisfied and typically wanting more. Yeah, that's right. What's Sarah B saying? Sarah says he knows for a fact the sun is a physical rotating sphere. Does a well? We'll get into it. Kind of seems like it is a rotating sphere or sphere. I'm not going to argue with Austin on that one. I don't need to because it's a red herring. Okay, and whether it's physical or not, well, we can't substantiate it. We could assume some physicality to the celestial bodies, but the way we view them, the optics behind this reality, well, they tend to be something quite different, something quite illusory, something that certainly can't be substantiated, and something that definitely can't be measured, and certainly can't be tested or repeated. But anyway, I do this. I meander. I wander to different places. This is me warming up, everybody. I can't just come on here and just give it all at once. I just can't do that. I mean, I can, but it's not prudent for me or for you. I'm flying solo today. Now, I'll have an open panel after my little thing, my presentation on my friend, the not-so-mellow-dome. We'll open the panel up, and anybody can come up and talk to me. And I mean anybody. Well, if you're cordial and respectful and you play by the rules. Which rules, Z? Well, the platform we're on, it kind of has some guidelines. They call them community guidelines. You need to play by those. Again, just part of the whole thing. Don't blame me. But you can come up and talk to me, and that's anybody. Even if you're like, I don't know, completely out of your mind, like certain people in the chat who shall remain nameless at this point. For anybody who missed our last stream, well, it was a banger. And I'd like to say the highlight was the really awesome presentation and response given by Najiked and myself towards one Mr. Jaron Campanella and his Globebusters farewell. But I would be basically disingenuous if I told you that, because the real highlight was pretty much the greatest debate of all time. The great debate happened here between two friends of the show. I consider them friends. One, Brenda, and the other was Rachel. And two lovelier people I have not met. And I thought it was a good debate. They stuck to the topics. It was engaging. It was enlightening. It was so many things. So I would consider that the highlight of last show. And I see Rock E. Shepherd in the chat. No, Rocky, you were not the highlight of last show. I don't think you're the highlight of much, Rocky. I don't know. No offense. You're a big boy. You can take it. So no, Rocky, you weren't the highlight. It was Brenda and Rachel. Two of my faves now. Much love. Much love if you're in the chat. Haven't seen either of you. There's Rachel. Rachel says hi, Z. Hi back, Rachel. I'll let you guys decide on your own, basically who may or may not have won that debate. I mean, I have a bit of a bias regarding the topic, so it's probably best I don't lend my opinion. But anyway, much love. Much love, everybody. Somebody says Rachel won. Well, I'll let you say it, Awake Mind. I'll let you give your verdict on the debate. Yeah, Angela Baby Carson's going for Rachel. Did anybody vote for Brenda? Miss Nora Bella here says Brenda's her favorite. But the question is, Miss Nora Bella, did Brenda win? Who knows? Put a 1 in the chat if you thought Brenda won. We'll give the audience a vote here. A 1 for Brenda and a 2 for Rachel. I'll give Brenda the advantage here by letting her be number 1. 1 for Brenda, 2 for Rachel. Place your votes. Come on. Don't be afraid. It's not hard. You're all chatting anyway. Hit the little numbers. I'm seeing a bunch of 2s. 2. All 2s. Somebody put in a 3. There's always 1 in the crowd. Always 1. Somebody said I won. Well, maybe Truth Hurts, you're referencing my lovely song as I regaled the audience during the halftime of the debate with my rendition of Rainbow Connection. A lot of people said that was the highlight of last stream, but not everybody. Somebody made the comment, wow, a doctor of audiology who's tone deaf. Who would have thought? All twos. Well, Brenda, I guess it wasn't your day, but there's always next time. Brenda, lovely Brenda. All right. What do you say I stop with the nonsense and get this thing started? I think so. So let me get my stuff together. This is a process here. This is a one-man band, this whole thing. It's pretty much just me here running this whole thing. But that's okay. No complaints. I like it that way. I don't need a whole group of nincompoops behind me. Look what happened to that Flat Earth Mafia. Effie Core. Look at those group of nincompoops. Look what happened when a bunch of people get together in confederation for, I don't know, some agenda. Usually around, I don't know, finances, grifting. Typically it doesn't work out great. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get this thing started. Yes. And for those of you in the chat wondering if I will do any more singing tonight, we'll have to see. You never know. You never know. If the spirit moves me, certainly. All right, let's get the cam on and get this thing going. There I am. Greetings, everybody. Looking at you, everybody. Looking at you. I see you now. Official opening. Who's here? Who's here? Have bliss, much love coming at you. DSN in the house. Greetings to Gary Baxter. Much love. Isabella Live, a.k.a. Morgan, coming in from the Great White North. Robert Hunt. Angela Baby Carson, coming at you. D'Angelo in the house. Name isn't important. Much love. Rachel again. Greetings. Capricorny. Good to see you. Lovely lady. Ram. Greetings. Rock E. Shepherd coming at you. Miss Noro Bella coming at you. Robert Page. That way. Who else? Sarah B. As always. Much love. Cool story, bro. 2 with the TOO. Good to see you. Glyph. Good to see you again. Mr. Nachiketa. As always. Welcome. Truth Hurts TV. Yes, it does. Call for Zero. And so many more wonderful, beautiful people. Again, thank you all for being here. As we gather here today, in the spirit of all things truthy, in the spirit of love, in the spirit of togetherness, and simply in the spirit. Some of you may be, I don't know, indulging in some spirits right now. Not myself, of course. I am not really, I don't really handle those spirits too well, so I choose not to. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Smoke them if you got them, everybody, because we're about to get into it. All right, so as mentioned, and let's get right to it once I pull it up. We're going to be reviewing Mr. Awesome Austin from the Melodome's latest live stream, brought to you from his car. And I titled this today's stream the Not So Melodome, because Austin, you may be mellow like most of the time, a majority of the time, a lot of the time, but you are not mellow in that car of yours. So I couldn't really say Melodome. You didn't live up to your name. But that being said, you made some points. You laid some stuff out. You expressed some things. You were passionate. And I thought it was worthy of a response video. So that's what we're going to do. But before I get into your actual video, I want to play about 4 minutes of one of your sunspot videos, just so I can prep the audience and let them know your points and kind of give them a general idea of where you stand regarding the sun, and even more importantly, regarding your opinion on the cosmology of this world. So why don't we get into that? And thank you everybody for being here as I pull this up. I used to go to a song after my opening, and I no longer do that. We just jump right into it. Right, here it is. And we'll let Austin give us the intro. So for those of you who don't know, Austin was a longtime flat earther. Notice I said was a longtime flat earther. He has a channel called Melodome, and he used to produce a lot of flat earth content. He used to do charities for flat earth trivia. He used to do interviews, and I consider him a prominent member of what I've dubbed the Flat Earth Mafia. Well, as some of you have probably guessed, that is no longer the case. He's no longer a part of the FE Mafia, and he would probably most appropriately be categorized in the current Jaren category. Okay, globe flip, certainly not flat Earth, actively disavowing it. So let's get into it. Again, we're going to start off with basically a summation of Austin's work and his current thoughts regarding the cosmology in his latest video. Austin, take it away and I'll comment.
Chasing psyops for the dopamine hits. I'm on day 234 of sun observations. Documenting the sun daily with my Nikon P1000 and some solar filters. Trying to understand the movement of the sun. Understand its motions between the solstices and the equinoxes. So the heliocentric globe model claims that the sun is sitting at a 7-degree tilt, while the Earth is sitting at a 23.5-degree tilt, spinning and moving around the sun. I've also realized really quickly by tracking the sunspots, realizing that the sunspots do move across the surface of the sun parallel to the sun's equator. And it is most definitely a 3-dimensional rotating sphere. And my sun observations line up with that. I mean, I would be literally lying to my audience if I told them that my sun observations do not support the heliocentric globe model. I would be lying to my audience if I told them that my sun observations are actually predicted on a flat Earth.
Okay, so let's get in there. You'd be lying if you said they don't support a globe model. And you'd be lying if you said the sun observations do support a flat Earth model. Here's the thing. Firstly, you're obviously, Austin, playing into the classic false binary, false dichotomy. You're also basically invoking models. We know models aren't reality. Basically, a mechanism to describe things for convention and utility. They're not real. So let's start there.
Now, I've been in this game long enough, so I understand the response I'm going to get is that, of course, it's going to line up with the globe model because the globe model is reverse engineered from a flat Earth model.
Okay, so you straw man there when you said, of course, the globe model is reverse engineered from a flat Earth model. That's technically not correct. The globe model is reverse engineered off of optics. No model necessary, no map necessary. The way we see the world is not the physical world itself. We see the world in a very particular way, in a way that could be described as non-planar or non-Euclidean. There's a little thing called perspective when we talk about optics, vision, and visual acuity. This is how, in my book, the globe model was basically reverse engineered off of optics, not off a flat Earth model, not off of a model that you may have followed and ascribed to for how many years of you being a flat earther, not based off of the model basically preached by your old friends of the Flat Earth Mafia, Dave Weiss, Sargent, Jaren, Karen B, on and on and on. The globe model was not reverse engineered off of that simplistic, begging the question, unevidenced, reified model. It was based off of optics of the sky.
I'm still looking for that original flat Earth model, though. So I have a
So am I, Austin. So am I.
challenge out for the Flurf Nation, right? My challenge is to take my sun observations, right? My daily sun observations since May 30th, take all my data and see if you can make it work over flat Earth. Because me and my crew, my team, we haven't been able to do that. Can't even.
So here's the thing, Austin. The fact that you think it works over a globe Earth is one of your biggest issues. Because it literally doesn't. If you think you can triangulate the sun from any three positions on this Earth, you would be mistaken. And the more divergent the positions, the less triangulable that sun will be.
Can't even get the sun to set in Blender. Okay, so again, in the heliocentric globe model, they claim that the sun is tilted at 7 degrees, while the Earth, which is spinning and moving around the sun, is tilted at 23.5 degrees, okay? And the wagon wheel motion that I'm seeing on the sun, on the disk of the sun, the clockwise wagon wheel and the counterclockwise wagon wheel between the solstices lines up perfectly. That is the explanation for the tilting of the sun and the Earth and their relationship with each other. And hey,
Lines up perfectly with the model that they've reverse engineered off the optical world that we can visualize every single day.
hey, maybe I'm wrong, you know, because I'm very new to this. I'm not even a full year in doing observations. I'm here to learn. I'm here to challenge my beliefs, and I encourage everyone else to do the same. Now, there's much more for me to research and reevaluate before I can tell you what I think I live on. But I'm being honest with you when I tell you my sun observations line up with the heliocentric globe model perfectly. I will continue with my daily observations. I will continue challenging my beliefs, and I encourage my audience and anyone else to do the same.
Here's the thing, Austin. I'm going to give you the latitude to assume that you are sincere and genuine and authentic in your thoughts and your feelings, your beliefs, and your words regarding this topic. Now, can I prove that, your authenticity? No, I certainly can't. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. There's some questionable things. It's kind of questionable that you and Jaren happened to both do your globe flip at exactly the same time. And I know you'll probably tell me, well, now you have this quote unquote mutually exclusive sun observation from Antarctica that basically gives the preponderance of the evidence to the globe. I know you'll claim that, but I still find it quite interesting. I also find it quite interesting that Jaren is starting a new radio show based on, his ideas, his thoughts and belief system. And he's looking for other content creators who are aligned with him. I also find it interesting that over the years, your listener numbers, your viewers have steadily dropped, so to speak. They certainly haven't gone up. And maybe, I've also noticed the same thing with Jaren. So I could only basically assume that that might have something to do with your recent change of heart regarding the flat Earth and your, embracing of this heliocentric model. But again, I'm assuming, and you know what happens when people assume. So I'm not making any claims. I just think it's interesting. All right. Now let's get to your latest stream, because that's what I'm really interested. I hope everybody's caught up on Austin's position, Austin's stance, and his claims. All right, here we go. And yes, I'm playing it a little sped up, everybody, just because I want to. That's all. So we could all deal with that. All right, so Austin put this out, I don't know, like maybe yesterday-ish, give or take. It's his latest live stream. Let's rock and roll with this thing. Again, much love, everybody. Thanks for being here. And again, I will have an open panel following this presentation, this response. For anybody who wants to come up, we can talk about this topic or any topic, really. Again, I just ask that everyone be cordial and follow the community guidelines. Okay, let's go.
Got some things I want to talk about. Flat Earth, my observations, and idiots trying to attack my character and who I am instead of attacking my observations. So before I get into some rants on the BS going on, I want to show you a visual representation of my sun observations, right? Because there's people out there that still are convinced that the sun is not a rotating sphere in the sky. There's people saying...
All right, so let me start off, Austin, just here. Okay, I get it. You got your Nikon P1000 with your solar filters. You're viewing the sky on the daily. Gotcha. You're observing it. You're documenting it. But here's what I'm wondering. Really, what does the sphericity of the sun and what does the tilting of the sun really have to do with, firstly, the cosmology, and then secondly, the physical nature of the ground that we walk on? That's the first question. Because to me, it seems somewhat like a red herring to bring up this topic in relation to this final experiment and to include it in your reasoning regarding you now disavowing the flat earth understanding and embracing this heliocentric understanding.
People saying that McKeegan sunspots, or even my sunspots, aren't parallel with the sun's equator. I've seen so many comments on my videos that just scream, I don't know what I'm looking at, but yet they know everything about the sun, okay? Softball, little softball here, right? This line going through the center is the sun's equator, right? Now they tell us that sunspots move parallel to the equator of the sun, okay? So I'm going to show you a visualization of what would happen at solar noon right here, where I'm at every day, getting shots of the sun, okay? Solar noon means not 12 o'clock, but the sun is directly above your head. Solar noon, okay? Solar noon. Here's the equator, this line, and then these dots.
Technically, it would just be the sun's zenith each day, the zenith angle or the highest angle of elevation. But I don't want to be pedantic. That's really not fair.
Represent sunspots, okay? So during June solstice, this is the equator. This is, and then it rotates counterclockwise, right? So the sunspots, in my perspective, are coming from the left side of the sun to the right side of the sun, okay? Because I'm in the northern hemisphere, right? So at June, this is the angle of the sun, right? This is for solar noon, right? Now it's rotating counterclockwise. Now, as we leave June, heading into September, right? The sun is then going to, I got to do this backwards, so give me a second. So it's going to then go this way, all the way to September. Boom, now it's doing this at September. So it was like this at June. Now it goes like this to September, right? Now we're going to winter solstice, which is December. Now we're back here. Then it's going to now go this way to March, right? And then it comes back to June like this. So it's doing this. This is what the sun's doing, bro.
Okay, and so again, Austin, it begs the question, so what's the point? What's the point? Now, I imagine he's basically refuting claims, attempting to refute claims by many flat earthers that the sun is basically maybe non-physical, or that the sun is some kind of projection or hologram. Okay, so he's attempting to prove the physicality of the sun, I assume, Austin. But again, as I said earlier, even if we have a physical sun, let's say for the sake of argument, we do have a physical sun. Makes sense to me that there's a sun that's physical, produces light, produces heat. I get it. Why should we assume that the way we view that sun is anything but illusory, apparent, or otherwise? Especially when the evidence points to that fact, and that the apparent sun is admitted to by popular science when they use a mean sun to calculate civil time. So this seems to be a red herring, Austin. Okay, so let's just say for the sake of argument that you have proved the physicality of the sun through sunspots, knowing that it basically does, or claiming that it basically does a rotation every 25 days or so, showing that you can basically see foreshortening of the sunspots as they approach the edges of what we see as a circle. I've seen the visual, the images from the hydrogen alpha telescope that certain people have, amongst those Crow 777, and I will readily admit that the sun appears to have sphericity That being said, how does that relate to the argument regarding the cosmology and the shape of this world?
So weeble wobble, weeble wobble. That's all I'm fucking talking about that people get triggered over. Huh? Rasta, sit down and shut up and listen, bro. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Yeah, Rasta, I saw you in the chat. Austin and I are going to agree on this one.
My guy. We're talking about the sun, which is misrepresented in the flat earth community. We need less TikTok, less keyboard warriors, and more people going outside and, yes, looking up. Oh no, right? So solar noon, here's June solstice, right? Then it goes to September, comes back, winter solstice, going to March, the equinoxes and the solstices, and then going back to June solstice. So it's doing this, it's wobbling. Now my question has always been, because there's a kinematic equivalence here, right? Is it the sun moving? Or am I observing the tilting of the earth that everyone's...
Wonderful question. Kinematic equivalence. Is it the sun moving? Or is it the earth? Seems like it has to be one or the other. Or it could be both. The heliocentric model says it's really both in their model. But here's the thing, Austin. We can invoke kinematic equivalence, which basically means, say you're in a car and you're observing trees moving by you on the outside. And how do you know if it's you moving in the car at a constant rate? Because you really wouldn't feel the constant rate. Or the trees that are moving and you would be stationary. This is basically an idea of what kinematic equivalence would be. But here's the thing, Austin. As I stated earlier, and I'll say it again, we have a little thing in this reality called physics, applied physics to be exact, and we have a little thing called practical demonstration. And based off both of those things, we know for a fact that we are not rotating or orbiting or tilting or wobbling in any way because of matter and how it is displaced when there is a change in motion due to inertia. Now, that's a very simple explanation that you can go into, anybody can research, and it literally debunks any rotation or orbit. So to invoke kinematic equivalence using theories, postulations, and presuppositions may work in certain circles, but certainly not going to work here because we adhere to the actual physical world that we live in. We look at things like demonstrable reality and practical demonstration to make decisions about this world.
Everyone says does not exist, right? I'm not claiming I feel the fucking earth tilting. Of course I don't, right? But this is a conversation that we need to have. We need to figure out the motions of the sky. And my observations line up with this because I'm not getting shots at solar noon. I'm getting shots at early in the morning, 9:30 every day. So in June, I didn't see it like this because I was catching it in the morning, right? Because throughout the day, the sun wagon wheels due to our perspective, right? So I'm catching the sun like this in the morning, right? Because they ain't wagon wheels throughout the day due to our perspective. But at solar noon in June, it would have been like this. But I'm catching it in the morning like this, okay? So during June, this was it. And then when it went to September, it did this, right? And then back to winter solstice. And then now it's moving up this way, right? To March, which I predicted it would do during the winter solstice. And that's exactly what's happening, okay? These are just observations I'm having and wanting to have the discussion. I asked for this community to join with me in this discussion, in these observations, a group effort. And all I've gotten...
Here's the thing, Austin. It's not just your observations and your requests for discussions. You're implying things. And even further, you're making claims. You're implying that basically there's only two models that we can adhere to. The heliocentric model versus your, again, unevidenced, begging the question, adhered to FE model. And basically your adherence to the heliocentric model. You're basically implying that your observations can only work on the globe and can't work on the flat earth. You are making claims. You're using the same tactics that Jaren uses to gaslight the community. You're a flat earth content creator for years who now did a globe flip. You're consistently implying that this world is a globe and that we orbit the sun. But here, as you claim victimhood to all the bullying you're receiving, you're just claiming that you're just asking questions and you're curious. This is not the case.
Cotton is vitriol. Vitriol and crap. Okay? Now, I've been making some videos.
Austin, here's the thing. I know your name's Melodome, and this is not a Melodome production. This is whatever the opposite of the Melodome is. Like I said, it's not so Melodome. The emotional streams, the rants in the car, kind of amateurish. Kind of below you at this point. So you're obviously feeling a certain way about this, but it is what it is.
I'm not bashing people in the videos. Yeah, very clever thumbnails, clever titles, a little funny, because I need y'all to actually click on it to get a view of what's actually happening. In those videos, I'm taking clips of what other flat earthers have said and pointing out the hypocrisy that's going on, right? See, this has become a religion. And when it's a religion, they have to attack the heretics, the ones that don't go along with the FLIRF consensus, okay? Now I'm going to talk about, Dave Banner. David Banner. So he did a live stream where I'm like a clown on a thumbnail. I don't care about that. I don't care if you choose to believe flat earth. I don't care. On my channel, I have explained what's going on with the sun, the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. I said the earth could very well be a globe. You say that and you get attacked for being honest.
Austin, you had a flat earth channel for years. All your subscribers are flat earthers. Are you seriously surprised by that response that you're receiving? You cannot be, possibly. It literally makes no sense.
Should I take my sun observations and say, oh, that's exactly what flat earth predicted? I could have said that. And then,
how can flat earth predict anything? Again, I don't want to be pedantic and semantical, but come on, man. What do you mean flat earth predicted? You mean your friends, Austin? You mean Dave and Jaren and Karen B? Your friends? Your friends at all those flat earth, Flattober festivals that you went to? Your friends at all those meetups you held in Florida? Is that the flat earth that predicted things? Is the earth literally predicting things? No. It was in your mind that you predicted what the sun may or may not do. You presupposed a natural phenomenon that need no presupposition. They simply exist. Our job is to simply observe them, document. That's it.
And then jump on the bandwagon, right? So we got David Banner this morning. I click on it. Bro, he's not even talking about my sun observations. You know what he's doing? He's attacking my character. He's claiming I'm still smoking meth. Let me tell you something, for all you don't know. I used to smoke meth, used to do heroin, pharmaceutical pills, and I've been clean for over 6 years. Past this January 2nd of this new year would be 6 years for me and my wife, right? 2% of people in the world, couples, that get off that stuff and stay off that stuff is 2%. And I will always be that 2%. No one's relapsed over here. He also made another claim that I do this for money. I'm literally about to leave my house to go to my job, right? Where I've worked my way up in the career. I am now a supervisor of 4 different locations, soon to be 5 different locations, right? To the point where my wife can stay home and raise and homeschool our children, right?
All right. So what I think Austin is doing here, he's basically massaging his ego at this point. He's under attack for what he feels are simply his beliefs. And this is basically an ego bump. We get it, Austin. You got clean. Blessings to you and your family. You're holding down a job. You're supporting your family. Blessings to you. This is irrelevant, Austin. This is irrelevant to the conversation. We're talking about a very specific claim that you and Jaren are making. You are both claiming that the final experiment observation of the 24-hour astral sun literally debunks a flat earth and gives the greater evidence to the globe. This is the claim you guys are making. Let's talk about that. A claim that is completely fallacious, a claim that basically has to stand on a false binary that is completely fallacious, a claim that Jaren says is, an observation that Jaren says is mutually exclusive, which it certainly is not. The issue is your interpretation of a celestial observation and how it relates to the cosmology. That's the issue. This is all extraneous. This is red herring.
I'm doing that well where my wife can stay home. Okay. So this is not for money. This is a passion for truth, right? This is also driven because I'm homeschooling my children, and my children know both of the models more than your average flirt.
Your children know both of which models? Which models? Are we talking about Kate Moss and, like, I don't know, Chrissy Tarrington or whatever her name is? Cindy Crawford? Those models? Which models are you talking about? You talking about model cars, model ships like I used to build when I was a kid? I know you're not talking about like the two models that you're presupposing and that you're basically strawmanning all of us into, the globe versus the Flurf model that you basically presented for years. I hope you're not talking about those models. The fact that you say you're teaching your kids both models is problematic. Why not teach your kids logic, reasoning? Why don't you teach them science? Why don't you teach them about critical thinking? And how about the basics, reading, writing, and arithmetic, like the old days? Why are you teaching them any models whatsoever? That's the question.
Guarantee that. My boys understand the motion of the sun, right? They understand the implications of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which a lot of flat earthers knew that.
Really? Your sons understand the implications of a 24-hour sun? What implication would that be? The implication that you're imposing on it as you presuppose models?
It used to be one of our proofs, and one of the only things that us and Globies agreed on.
Who's us? Are you still us, Austin? And even when you were us, why are you basically strawmanning all of us into a model?
Because we knew a 24-hour sun didn't work, right? But he
doesn't work where? A 24-hour sun is a natural phenomenon. That's all it is. There's no working or not working.
He's saying I'm doing it for money, but did he forget? I feel like a lot of people forgot the trivia for charity, raising over $25,000. Every dollar going to people in need, whether it was a death from a funeral or someone paralyzed and put in a wheelchair or someone.
Austin, this is complete red herring, man. Okay, you raised money for Flat Earth. What does that have to do with this topic? I get it. You're basically trying to advocate for your character and your honesty and sincerity. I know that. But still, what's the point?
Or someone wanting a new computer or someone needing fucking diapers for their babies. $25,000 raised in the Melodome. So while you sit there and attack me and say I'm doing it for money, you're wrong. Not doing it for money. I make my own money, okay? I don't need to grift off the community. I make my own money like a man, right? I provide for my family, not my audience, okay? What else? The drugs, already acknowledge that, obviously. I'm not doing drugs, okay? What's the other one? Oh, yeah, I'm a bandwagon. I jump on every bandwagon, right? I jump on every bandwagon. Absolutely false. Right? Because my channel isn't pushing melting buildings. My channel isn't pushing Tartaria bullshit. My channel isn't pushing trans investigation. My channel isn't pushing all sports are rigged. I can literally keep going on all the fucking hot topics of the truther community that I don't associate myself with. Right? So instead of attacking me, trying to tell your lying to your audience, right? Oh, he's all smoking meth still, doing it for money, and a bandwagon jumper. You're literally projecting, my guy. Right? I have been firm talking about my observations for months, asking for the community to come together, right? Let's figure this shit out. I start going away from the truth or consensus of what the sun is, and all of a sudden I can't be trusted, and I'm a deceiver because I don't think the sun's a reflected, projected, holographic focal point of light, and I don't think the sunspots are star constellations see through the sun. You know, all this fucking ridiculous shit from people who aren't doing observations. They're just listening to a random person on the internet and think they got the truth.
Okay, so you're bringing up some outliers in the community who are making claims about the sun. What does that have to do with anything? Literally nothing. The topic is the 24-hour astral sun and the implications on the cosmology and your interpretation of an optical phenomenon. That's the topic.
Man of stone. Arrogant motherfucker, ain't he? I can't be the only one who thinks he's an arrogant know-it-all, right? Bro made a video about the sun and McKeegan sunspots footage to say, oh, NASA says it's a rotating sphere. Obviously it's not. Okay, man of stone, brain of stone. Where are your observations to prove that claim, to back up that claim? Because he misrepresented Dave McKeegan's sunspot footage. And the sunspots that were on the edge, the limb of the disk were distorted. And he's trying to claim that the trajectories of the sunspots are not parallel with the equator, but they most certainly are. If anyone would pay attention to my observations, you could see that when I zoomed in on sunspots, as they're going across the surface, the face, to the edge of the limb, you can see distortion. Why? That's called foreshortening. That's what happens when you're looking at a sphere from a certain angle. The things on the side of that sphere will become squished, distorted, warped, right? That's what's happening. But when you already have a preconceived notion that it's not a rotating sphere, it's pure ignorance. But man, the stone, the ether bros, they're so smart. Ether. What's ether? For flat Earth, it's ether. For the globe model, it's dark energy. What's the difference?
All right, so that's a false equivalency there. I'll spare the audience with a whole diatribe on ether versus dark energy, but that's a false equivalency to say they're basically the same thing.
What's the difference? What's the difference? Yeah, Sean, you're like saying, oh yeah, they reverse engineered. I hear that all the time. I've been in this community. Everything you're saying with me, I've already heard, but it does not work for me. I'm sorry. So people are saying it's reverse engineered. What are we doing? Why haven't we reverse engineered it? Why can't nobody in this community help me with my sun observations and see how they can work over flat Earth? Joe Hamvy's fucking toy model that everyone's pushing around as 100% doesn't account for sunrise or sunset times.
We don't need a model of how your sun observations work over flat Earth. Again, this preoccupation, this predilection for models. Austin, it's not my fault you basically joined what you're considering a cult. It's not my fault that you basically made friends with all these people who obviously had an interest in advocating for and promoting a model as they branded flat Earth, okay, as they promoted it for their own gain. That's not my fault that you did that. You want to talk about projection? This entire rant is pure projection, Austin.
Equinox, solstices. Like, come on. I call that out and he wants to say I'm not an expert. So should I trust the experts? Where did that get us 4 years ago? Trusting the experts? Joe Hamby's so worried about playing with his fucking salad bowl that he forgot he can go outside and document this shit. And if I was building a fucking model and I knew somebody in this extended movement, whatever you want to call it, if I knew somebody that had continuous sunshots daily for 7 months, you would think I would want to go look at that data and see how I can make it work in my model. Like, how long have all of you been flat earthers? You're on the flat earth hamster wheel, running. Oh, so much progress, so much progress. Then when you stop and you hop off, you're in the same spot you were when you jumped on.
So here's the thing, Austin. This very likely is a complete emotional response to your situation with the flat earth. You're projecting all over the place, very likely. You're obviously in some way disgruntled with your old friends. You're obviously disgruntled with the so-called community, and you seem to be lashing out. I'm wondering if your emotions are not governing and overruling your logic at this point, because you seem to be using some kind of self-justifying logic or reasoning, where you have some predetermined conclusion based off your feelers, and you're using every logical fallacy in order to make your way to that conclusion.
Bruh, what's going on? Yeah, have I seen Tomb of Illumination? Yeah, he's all over the place. He don't even understand what he's talking about, dude. Like, how can you watch that guy and retain anything and think you're getting like knowledge of the cosmos or something? Like, all of a sudden this community is like, no, observations don't matter. You're basically saying that to me without saying it. Yeah, didn't I denounce the rising earth nonsense? I've never supported that, ever.
Everybody, Austin never supported the rising earth nonsense, quote unquote. Austin, did you ever look into it? Well, you think you live on a basically spinning, undulating globe orbiting a fusion gas giant, which is 93 million miles away. You think that. So I'm pretty sure you probably wouldn't be able to handle the logic that it takes to understand the upward vector. I'm just saying.
Dr. Bass Ackler, shape of the earth is God's business. Very well could be. Very well could be. The Alfonso dude is lying to you guys. Okay? He's lying to you. To say that that's what flat earth predicted is a lie. That's a lie.
Again, what is this flat earth and what is it predicting? Why are we personifying an idea? Flat earth doesn't predict things. We predict things based on celestial data. Things that repeat in the sky. There seems to be a degree of frequency with the sky. Cycles within cycles, wheels within wheels. ad infinitum, seemingly. What is flat Earth predicting? This is nonsense. We live on Earth and we observe the world around us. Based off patterns, we make predictions. That's it.
An expert is someone with over 1,000 hours of watching the sky, in my opinion. I don't know how many hours I got, but I'm outside every morning before we do class with the boys. Every morning, some nights I'm out at night, tracking the night sky, the moon, the stars. There was a Mars occultation this past Monday at 9:15 p.m.
So that's an appeal to your authority because of your experience with the sky. Austin, none of this matters. I get it. You're emotional, so you're illogical. But the litany of logical fallacies that you're employing to make your point are, at this point, outstanding and stupendous.
Moon, the lunar moon, occulting Mars. I thought the moon was translucent. Oh, only sometimes, Austin. Oh, how convenient. How convenient. Right, right. I think it's kind of foolish for us to think we can understand everything happening in the sky. I think Effed Up World, great job documenting that occultation of Mars. Amazing shot. Freaking amazing. I had cloud cover over here. I couldn't get it. You know, but everyone wants to push around. I'm going to start driving now since I showed you that globe softball demonstration, right? Because I'm leaving to work to go make money because, you know, this isn't my career. I don't make money off my audience. I actually raise money for my audience. David, banner. So people want to attack my character, attack who I am, and forget everything I've done for this community because I don't believe what they believe. I don't care if David Banner put me on his thumbnail as a clown. I don't care. I'm putting certain people on my...
Austin, I want to say you're better than this, but I don't really know. You should be better than this, maybe. I would hope you're better than this.
My thumbnails. I don't care about that. It's when I clicked on that and I heard him telling his audience that I am still smoking meth. You liar. You deceiver. Right? But no, I'm the liar. I'm the deceiver because I'm being honest with my audience and I don't lie and say, actually, it's all predicted. Like Joe Hanvey. Joe Hanvey was saying there was no 24-hour sun. He's on record saying that to a congregation. Will Duffy comes around. Now all of a sudden he has a working...
Which is interesting. I forgot it was Joe Hanvey that Duffy had on camera regarding the comment about the 24-hour sun. I forgot it was Hanvey.
Model. But then he wants to be wishy-washy because I've listened to his live streams. He talks to these people as if it's 100% proof, but then slips in a little advisory. Like, actually, I'm just playing around with this. It's not like actual to reality. I say that. I'm a fucking shield for calling him out for that. People are like, yeah, it's 100% proof. No, it's a proof of concept, right? And here's the thing. In his model, he needs the sun.
I will say, Austin, you're looking pretty trim, man. I don't know. The globe suits you well, I think. You look like you lost a little bit of weight. You're looking, you know, I can see like your facial features are a little bit more pronounced. It might just be the lighting. I'm not sure. Either way, keep up whatever you're doing. Keep it up.
Sun. So if you're standing in Antarctica viewing the 24-hour sun, when you're facing north, in his salad bowl model, you're facing north, you're looking at the real physical sun. But as it's coming around and you start turning around to face south, that's when all of a sudden the sun becomes a reflected mirror, right? Now it's the sun reflecting off this firmament, right? If that's the case, we would see the sunspots mirroring, but they don't.
That's quite a hasty generalization, Austin. You're leading yourself to a conclusion based off insufficient amounts of data and evidence.
Right? And that makes sense. If you're saying it's reflecting, then there has to be some mirroring attributes put to this. And it didn't mirror. It didn't flip.
Really?
Okay?
You sure about that?
Right? That's why people need to say this is all fake, because the implications are damning. Not to mention that when they were in Punta Arenas, the sun was setting southwest, rising southeast, setting southwest. How? I think I heard Saab say if that happens, it could be a globe. Well, that happened. Again.
Yes, it did. And I also saw Saab Dave say the same thing. It was quite perplexing, Austin, to hear Saab Dave say that. And yes, Jaron and Whitsitt and Lisbeth, when they were in Punta Arenas, South America, in the very tip, very southern part of South America, they took sun observations and confirmed what Nachiketa have been telling you guys for months now. That the solar data from the south contraindicates the simplistic, begging the question, reified model promoted by you and your friends, Austin. I didn't need Lisbeth and Jaron and Austin there looking at the southeast sunrise and southwest sunset in Punta Arenas during their basically solstice, give or take. I didn't need that. I knew it. Nachiketa knew it. Q and Fee knew it. We've been telling you guys for months. You just didn't want to listen. That was no surprise. But again, what does that have to do with the topic? What does the celestials have to do with the physical world that we inhabit? What does the optical sky have to do with this world? Zero. These are complete red herrings. None of this really matters to the conversation. And this claim that no flat earthers knew about the 24-hour sun is a false claim on its face, because anybody who read the 1902 book Zetetic Astronomy by Lady Blount and Albert Smith knows that this was addressed. So why are we saying nobody knew about the 24-hour astral sun, and if we did, there never would be flat earthers? It's completely false. They had the reports from the 1898 Belgica expedition, British expedition to the Antarctic, of what they dubbed the Midnight Sun. None of this is new. Maybe it was new to you, Austin. It certainly wasn't new to me. Wasn't new to a lot of people, I'll tell you that.
And I'm posting videos of people with their own words, now eating their own words. That's why I posted them. Dave Weiss, how many times have you listened to his little sales pitch interviews where he talks about the 3 baskets? You got globe basket, flat earth basket, and
again, Austin, it's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault that you aligned yourself with these people. That's your problem, dude. You made that mistake. You decided that friendship was better than truth. You valued friend connections over basically the pursuit of what I say is the Almighty, because Almighty God and truth are synonymous. That's the mistake you made. That's your shortcoming. That's your weakness. Stop projecting it on everybody else.
And in both basket, right? He keeps throwing everything in both, works on both, works on both, works on both. And then he gets to the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And that's when he does this whole, yeah, that's the one thing we agree on with the globies. The 24-hour sun doesn't work on a flat earth. That was part of his sales pitch until it couldn't be.
Okay, so what? So David Weiss said a thing a bunch of times to a lot of people. So what? What's the point, Austin?
Where's the honesty? I'm sitting here being honest and being like, wait a minute, that's a mutually exclusive observation, and that can't work on a flat earth map, right?
Here we go again with the claim of the mutually exclusive observation in the Antarctic. And it can't work on a flat earth map. Again, conflating maps and models and invoking models. Austin, you understand that the globe model, the heliocentric model, is completely impossible? As I basically laid out earlier, due to applied physics and practical demonstration, reality. The only thing supporting the heliocentric model is consensus, appeal to authority, appeal to emotion, and any other logical fallacy that you want to attach to it. It's completely unsubstantiated and totally impossible. The fact that you're appealing to it is completely blowing my mind.
Right? Because that's what we all were saying for years. That's how many of us got here. Okay.
Who's we? Who's we? Austin, again, the emotion. I hope you watch this, Austin. I know you will. Your emotion is completely clouding your argument. Maybe it's all you have. But this isn't doing you any favors, man. And I'm not saying I've never been emotional on camera. That's not my point. But this isn't helping your argument at all. Probably because you really don't have an argument. Maybe you'll see it after this. I don't know.
Okay? Right? Who's lying? Who's being deceived here? Who's being the deceiver? Huh? And it's very obvious to me. I'm still waiting for a flat earther to come work with me on sun observations or challenge my sun observations. Don't sit there and try to attack my character or who I am or what I'm about. You can attack my sun observations because I got plenty of them on my channel.
There's nothing wrong with your sun observations. It's your conclusion based on the observation. That's what people are challenging, Austin.
Very well descriptive. And I just showed you a visual representation of what the sun is doing. Literally wobbling effects. And you can say with the kinematic equivalence, I could argue, a legitimate argument, I could argue that I'm observing the 23.5 degree tilt of the Earth.
You could argue it, but it'd be a very poor argument because it's unevidenced and unsubstantiated. Again, because applied physics and practical demonstration. If we were rotating and orbiting, you would have displacement of multiple states of matter that could be measured, that could be observed, because there's a little thing in physics called inertia. It's a very simple concept. It literally debunks the heliocentric model on its face. That's why I say the globe is impossible, Austin, because it's physically impossible. To invoke some celestial observation from the illusory sky and claim that it invalidates the physical world that we live in is completely preposterous, my friend.
Okay? It lines up. And that's another thing. Every one of my observations, I'm like 260 something sunshots over 7 months since May 30th. Every single one, every single day, lines up with satellite data. I have Helio Viewer downloaded on my computer. I can pull data from all those satellites, space-based and ground-based, right? Telescopes, satellites, all that stuff, and it lines up to my observations every single time. Not only that, but my sun observations also line up with the globe model, right? To the point where I heard flat earthers saying that they were documenting the sky, but then they found out it lines up with the globe model, so they stopped doing it. That's very telling to me. So then people were like, well, Austin, of course it lines up with the globe model. What do I say to that? Okay, if it lines up with the globe model, can we make it work on a flat earth? Well, the globe was reverse engineered from a flat earth. Okay, then when we figured that out yet. Why? Because everyone's sitting on their fucking hands.
I made the point earlier, I'll make it again. You could say the globe was reverse engineered from a flat earth. You're simply wrong. The concept of the globe was basically based on how we see in this world. Optics, the visual world, how our visual acuity works. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple. It looks like the railroad tracks converge to a point, but we know in fact that they do not. Simple concept, man.
Fucking hands. That's why. No one's doing the hard work anymore. No one's in the trenches anymore. They want clicks. They want dopamine hits. They want drama. They want someone to talk about. Okay? All right? So because I have different opinions on the sun and different opinions on the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, I am now a deceiver shill that's been doing this for money and smoking meth. That's what I get. I should have never helped this community. I realize I'm in a cult. And if you don't think in a cult, right, your Lord and Savior, I like to talk to you about my Lord and Savior flat earth. Have you heard about my Lord and Savior flat earth? Your Lord and Savior flat earth is not saving your soul.
Austin, this is complete projection on your part, dude. You might as well put a mirror in front of your face instead of this camera.
Okay? That's ridiculous. I can't believe I almost believed that bullshit.
Almost?
All right, Sean, if it's reverse engineered, brother, send me the deets. Send me the details. That's all I'm asking for. You know, you think I want to go through this? You think I want to be like, damn, I'm thinking this way. I know I'm going to say all this. I'm going to get ridiculed. But I say it anyways because I'm honest. And I don't care what all these people got to say. Because I'm crushing it life over 6 years fucking clean. 6 years clean. Who can do that? That's fucking hard. So when I hear people saying that I'm still on drugs, bro, say that to my face. Say that to my face. I've busted my ass to get out them trenches. Worked hard as fuck. Moved up in this company that I worked for. I was at the very lowest position. I am now one of the supervisors, right? They trust me. They know me, right? It has helped me buy my house, helped me buy a car I could depend on, allowed my wife.
Again, this is simply Austin massaging his ego because he feels as though he's under attack.
To stay home and raise our children and homeschool our children. And then I teach my son all of this, all my boys, all of this, both sides, every angle, right? Not telling them everything's fake and gay, trying to learn observations. My boys can get the angles to the moon and the sun easily, like that. Bam. They think it's boring, but they can do it, right? But no, you want to go on a live stream, that's cool. Put me on your thumbnail. I don't care. But address my fucking claims. Address my sun observations, right? Address them. Don't sit there and fucking bash me in who I am. And then you got people in the chat when I go in there to call you out and I tell you, send me a link to jump on. Let me jump on, bro. People want to talk about me, but they sure don't want to talk to me. Every single one of y'all know how to reach out to me, whether it's a phone number, email, Facebook, whatever, Telegram. I'm easy. But no, people rather talk about me instead of talking to me, right? Oh, no, I'm not going to give you the link. Why? So I can jump on and defend myself? Huh? Oh, no.
So just for the record, I reached out to Austin and he responded. So we will likely have a conversation sometime in the near future.
Oh, you rather lie to your audience and say he must be on drugs. He's smoking meth. He never quit. Oh, he's doing this all for money. What money? That $25,000 that I didn't get a cent from, that I didn't want nothing to do with. I never was doing this for money, okay? It's for the truth. And the truth is a 24-hour sun is detrimental to the flat earth model. Now, people say there's other models out there. Show me.
Again, invoking a model, claiming models. That's the definition of a straw man. So what every globie does, you straw man what the flat earth belief is, and then you burn the straw man. It's one of the primary logical fallacies. Maybe you don't see it, Austin.
Show me something that works better than the AE map, which actually isn't even a flat earth. It's a globe projection flattened out.
You remember your old friend, Austin Whitsitt? I don't think you guys are friends anymore. His claim, falsification is independent of replacement. You're the one who made the flat earth claim, Austin. Dave Weiss made the flat earth claim, and Mark Sargent and Dubé and the rest of them. They're the ones that claimed a model. The Zetetics, at least the original ones, my namesake, basically spent their time falsifying the model that was placed in front of them by the intelligentsia of the time, the academics, really the church. They were using logic to debunk this model. Why would somebody claim a model without evidence? How could one have evidence without the resources to gather all the plethora of information that would be needed to avoid a hasty generalization fallacy that you are making right now? By strawmanning a model on the flat earth, you are basically committing the same errors in logic that every globie who debates this matter does.
And you can easily find that out. It's like once I started doing my own observations and realizing this was a physical rotating object, it really falls apart, especially for sunrise and sunset times in the southern hemisphere. That's why flat Earth needs the sun to be a projected, reflected, holographic focal point of light. They need it to be that, right? Because
that's a straw man. I'm going to say it again, Austin. The sun cannot be triangulated on any model or map that one proposes. Austin, Austin, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a ball, the basketball, and then I want you to go look at solar data, okay, at different latitudes along the same longitude on that ball, okay, or the completely opposite longitude. You know how it's called a great circle when we talk about the longitude lines? Find one of them, find two opposing points, and really hold that up and look to see if you were on there, if you would be able to triangulate that sun, especially if you're on divergent points. You cannot. I assure you, it doesn't work. You're assuming it does based off no evidence. The sun is apparent no matter what. The way we view the sky is dependent on our individual location on this earth. That's plain and simple. Either you didn't know that or you don't want to know it. But now you know it because I just told you.
Right? Because if it's physical, it fucking kills it. It kills it.
Right. Again, so you're presupposing that the globe model validates a physical sun. It doesn't kill anything. This is the same mistake Jaron made, but I'm not so sure it was a mistake on Jaron's part.
You know, and I understand I'm talking to people that don't really understand because they're not really doing the work. They're just listening.
No, Austin, you don't understand. You simply bought a P1000 and took a picture of the sky each day. To conflate that with some degree of understanding is simply wrong.
The content creators and think they know everything from their YouTube screens, right? But I'm doing it to the best of my ability. I'm showing you my sun observations. I've been asking how we could get this to work, right? Right? Yeah, Carrie, I voted. So what, bruh? So what? Why don't you write me and tell me how you feel about me instead of pussyfooting around and talking to me or talking about me in other chats like a female, like a gossip girl in high school, Carrie? Why don't you man up, bruh? You in my Telegram group. Why don't you tell me how you really feeling there, big guy? Huh? Like y'all are some cowards. For real. Are my beliefs shaking your foundation? Do I need to believe what you believe? I can still be friends with people who think that voting doesn't matter. I can still be friends with people who think the earth is flat. I can still be friends with people who got vaccinated because that's the real world.
Austin, many flat earthers watched your content for years. They invested time and energy into you. Many of them donated to your channel, you personally, and also these charity events that you held. They're obviously going to feel some kind of emotion regarding your abrupt globe flip, whether it was over months, a year, or even days. I don't know. I'm not in your mind. The fact that you don't understand their reaction is perplexing.
You are stuck in this internet fucking world that is full of toxic division bullshit, right? Ego trips, circle jerks, all of that. The final experiment is the experiment on this psychological mindfuck that's happening right now, and watching the reaction of the flat earth community literally implode, which is what I called and predicted. I said this was going to happen. I told Jaron this was going to happen, right? And then people want to turn it into cheerleading shit like, oh, he's going back to the globe. He's a globe. He's going to get boosted. Hey, bro, do you know that in the real world, there's people that think they live on a globe and don't get the boosters? Did you know that? Shocker, right? Like, you guys are being programmed and just saying things that you heard on the internet. That's all you're doing. That's all you're about. Okay? I'm much better off without these people in your life. You no longer hang out with druggies. Same thing. Same fucking thing, bro. You're right. I've been at rock bottom before, and I'm witnessing flat earth hitting rock bottom. 24-hour sun fucked them up, right? Like, yo, Eric Dubé's video about, like, the LED screen studio, garbage. How can someone not watch that and then think, wait a minute, this video's terrible? Could all of his other videos be this terrible? Wait a minute. I know there's other people thinking like I'm thinking, because you know what? They're writing me. But they're too scared to be openly about it because they know they will get attacked, right? But I don't care, because I've been attacked by people I actually loved and cared about, right? When I was doing dumb shits, running the streets, doing drugs, right? I had people talking about me, saying, dude, I've been here before. I don't care. My skin is thick. The issue I have is you're lying about me. Start addressing my sun observations, right? And all my videos I got that I've been posting where people are like, oh, he's a globie now. I'm calling out the lying flat earthers, right? Believe it or not, I know a lot of people trip out when they hear this, right? Oh, you're a Jaron Cook. But Jaron is being honest with you. It's Witsit who's fucking lying. He knows the implications of a 24-hour sun. He's not an idiot. He's in denial. And
Now, to assume you know Witsit's state of mind, his thoughts and his feelings regarding this, well, come on, Austin.
stuck on the Bible, biblical cosmology. Where's the fucking science in that?
I will agree with you there. It's been one of my biggest issues with Witsit from the beginning is his adherence to a belief set. Obviously, it's an issue. You're pointing it out here. But the claim that Jaron's being honest and Witsit's lying, I can't go along with that.
I'm going to keep ranting until I get there so I can read the chats. But this is where I'm at, bro. This is where I'm at. You know, I showed you a visual representation of what's happening with the sun that literally lines up with my sun observations, right? And the sun takes about a month for one rotation, one revolution, one turn of the sun. It's about a month at the sun's equator, right? And when I'm outside every day continuously, it starts to show a pattern that the sun is a rotating sphere, right? And I know other people have tracked the sun for a year. I get it.
Okay, make that point, Austin. Argue that point. Argue for the sphericity of the sun. But again, you're conflating that information as you argue for the sphericity of this earth. It literally makes no sense, dude.
I get it, the analemma, but they didn't zoom in on the sun and track sunspots. No one's done that in this community. I'm trying to do that, right? So I'm basically tracking an analemma, but I'm zoomed in up on the sunspots because we're in solar max, so there's a lot of features on the surface that I can actually see where's the North Pole, where's the South Pole, where's the equator. It's way better visual, so you're seeing the actual movements, okay? And I've realized quickly this analemma, like think about this, guys. How can we get a figure eight analemma with just one moving object above our heads? How? Like logically, there would have to be another motion to create that figure eight look, you know? But I'm no expert. I'm no expert. Ah. Yeah, you relapse too, bro. Y'all can be triggered.
Let's talk about the analemma. He basically claims you can only get the figure eight with two motions. Based on what, Melodome? You're observing basically a two-dimensional figure eight in the optical sky. Why would you presuppose two motions? There's nothing to base that off of. Again, except your presupposition. It's in your mind.
Yeah, he seems more genuine. Bro, you tripping? Rasta, how long have you been in this community, my guy? Would you forget about the implications of a 24-hour sun? Or did you need people like Joe and Witsit and Alonzo to say, actually, it works. It works on a flat earth. No, it doesn't. You know, Witsit wanted to sit there and dog the shit out of the globe model because the sunrise times were off by like 5 degrees or 5 minutes. You know what I mean? That's explained because of the analemma. But he's saying that the globe model is debunked.
Really? That's explained because of the analemma? The 5 degrees? You're basically admitting that it's apparent? You just admitted that the sun is apparent. You realize that, right? Can you see this, Austin?
His
So
channel
now you want to
name
basically argue
is Zetetic
qualitative
Warrior.
point. I'm sorry, a quantitative point that, well, on our model, the globe model, it's less apparent than your model. So we win based off the preponderance of apparentness, apparently. Try to say that like 5 times. Okay, so your model's less apparent than the presupposed, begging the question, unevidenced FE model that you're straw manning everybody into. That's your argument?
Because the sunrise sunset time is off by 5 minutes. But then you want to promote Joe's model, where you literally have to turn around 180 degrees to see the sun, right? Yet sunspots prove it's not a reflection, okay? And the fact is, it lines up with the globe model. Let's come together instead of saying, Austin's on drugs, Austin's doing it for money, oh, Austin's a deceiver. Why don't we come together? We don't need to fucking think alike, dude. That's not what I'm saying. But come together and try and figure it out. Nah, let's not do that.
Figure what out, Austin? Figure out the optics of the sky? The optics of which have eluded the cognition of mankind for all recorded history? What arrogance one must have to think we can, quote unquote, figure it out. That's the arrogance of the pseudoscientific community. That's the arrogance of mainstream academia. That's the arrogance of this secular society that we've been indoctrinated into. That's not the arrogance of a critical thinker. Or that's the mindset of a critical thinker, a free thinker. It's hubris and it's egoic.
Like, it's so telling. You know, I express this to you guys, and then you guys prove it to me in the comments every fucking time. Every time. You prove my case when I read a ridiculous comment, right? It's a cult. You're in a cult. You're in a cult, bro. Time to wake up. You're in a cult. It's all right. You just gotta realize that shit. And you know, maybe I didn't catch that because maybe that was a time in my life I still was vulnerable. I was just getting off those drugs, just facing reality again. Lost both my parents around that same time, and so yeah, mentally, emotionally, I would say I was probably in a very vulnerable state, looking for a community.
Again, here's Austin picking up the same narrative portrayed by Jaron, that he was duped into some flat earth cult because he was in a vulnerable state. He was looking for answers, psyoped into this dangerous cult. This is the rhetoric moving forward. This was Duffy's gambit. Shout out to Notch. This is it. This was endgame for Duffy right here, Austin. You're the mark, Austin. That's you. Awesome, Austin. There's a little thing in the carnival biz called the mark. That's you, good sir. You got played like a fiddle. It's right here. You and your boy Jaron.
Looking for a group of people, right? Since I've ostracized myself from my family and loved ones because of drugs, and then some of them died, so I can never reconnect with that ever again, right? So I had family members die with the relationship broken, okay? So I was broken. I was trying to heal myself. And yes, Flat Earth saved me with that. There's a lot of people in this community I have great relationships with, right? There's great people in this community.
Again, Austin, you were about relationships over facts. You were about, I don't know, some weird countercultural group over objective reality. You got duped. And now you're portraying us all under the same banner that you fit in.
Community, don't get me wrong, right? But I might have been deceived. I think I was bullshitted. I am convinced Flat Earth is a fucking psyop. Okay?
I'll just pause it and let that sink in for everybody. I'll let that resonate and ring through your minds. How many of you donated to Austin? Austin, you gonna give the money back? I don't mean the charity money. You gonna give Andrew B all his money back? Andrew B, are you listening? Put in the one in the chat again if you know who Andrew B is. Yeah, one in the chat if you know Andrew B. That one came in pretty quick. Really, Andrew? Andrew's like, I don't know, sobbing in a corner somewhere in the fetal position. I want Andrew B to be refunded Everything he donated to you, Austin. You kidding me with this shit?
Now, if you don't like what I'm saying, bro, unsub. I don't care. People are like, oh, Austin, the people have spoken with your numbers. It's me who has spoken, right? Because whoever commented that is like completely irrelevant. I don't even know who you are. You got any content? You got any sun observations? No. You just got your favorite content creator that's hating on me. So then you want to come over to my channel and hate on me with them, right? Little circle jerks, okay? It's embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing. But you got the truth. How many of you got your own lives together, huh? How many of you got your shit together? It took me years to get my shit together, right? Right? How many people's lives are not where they want it to be? And
Austin, you can make your point without dunking on people. Again, logical fallacy. This is an ad hom. So basically, you're attacking the character of flat earthers to try to make your point. And so there is no point being made here. Classic ad hom.
and they're having a hard time of getting it where they want it to be.
It's also poisoning the well.
Yet they want to tell the world that they know what reality is. How is anyone who doesn't have their own fucking shit together tell you what's going on in the real world? Huh? That's why I never came to you like, I'm the arbiter of truth. I have the truth. I don't know what the fuck I'm living on, but I'm being honest by saying my sun observations line up with the glow model. A 24-hour sun in Antarctica supports a glow model. Why can't we come back, figure this shit out? No, it's time to attack each other.
Come back and do what? It's amazing that you expect a bunch of flat earthers to like agree with you. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Come on up and talk to me as we finish this out. Link's going to be in the chat. Come on up, anybody. There's a bunch of people here. Lend your voice to the conversation.
Tear each other apart. Shit in our hands and throw it like fucking chimpanzees. It's just proving y'all got nothing. Y'all got nothing on my sun observations. You know, people are like, oh, you act like you're the first one to look at the sunspots. It feels like it. When every time I'm talking about my sun observations, a person either has no idea what the fuck they're looking at or what I'm talking about, or they want to tell me, oh, Vibes of Cosmos says their stars seen through the sun. You're wrong. So, you know, and again, I'm asking community, where's all, like, let's get together. We had some greats in the past that wanted to look at the sun for a day or a week or maybe a month, right? Years ago, but all that stopped. Asking for people, let's do it again. Let's figure it out. We had the Antarctic trip coming up. You know, let's get some observations out there. If we want to be considered legit, we need a working model. We need to incorporate the sky somehow, right? Nah, no, we don't. What the fuck? Oh, I don't actually subscribe to a model or a map. I can tell you don't teach your children. I can tell you still send them to the schools. I can tell. I can tell. Because if they were at your house and you was teaching them, well, I hope you're not just saying, don't worry, son, it's fake and gay. Next lesson, oh, fake and gay. Next lesson, fake and gay. Nah, man. I'm giving them all this information so that they can think about it for themselves. Come to conclusions. My boys are sharp. All right? I'm sure people are going to talk shit. Bring up my children in a freaking comment. How disrespectful is that? Huh? The shit that's being said in these comments, you wouldn't say to my face, bro. And that's what's wrong with this community. A bunch of ego trips. I've been to these meetups, all right? There's the majority of people at these meetups that are completely unhealthy and either an alcoholic or fucking too much weed or too much something, right? It's all over these people's faces, but they got the fucking truth, right? I can do a live stream talking about drug addiction. No one wants to be here for that. I can do a live stream talking about my sun observations. No one wants to be there for that. They want to be here for the drama. That's what they want. They want the drama. That's what y'all like. They like the fantasies. They like their reality being their reality. I can't read chat until I'm parked. So if you want to cuss me out or be all upset, you can do it now and I'll read it out. Oh, Austin, he's a shill. He doesn't believe what I believe about the sun, even though I've never been outside and fucking looked at it. But this TikTok video, Austin, that has no context to it, no date, no time, no location, but it's a TikTok video, Austin. Yeah, let's trust people who don't do observations.
All right, everybody, I think we made the point. And again, shout out to Awesome Austin and Melodome. You're welcome to come up and talk to me anytime. I expect that you will. But either way, guys, look, in some ways it speaks for itself, but I felt like it needed to be highlighted. I needed to say, like, the stuff I needed to say out loud. Make of what you will with it. Not much more needs to be said. Look, links in the chat. Come on up. Chop it up with me. The backstage is open. I'll take a musical interlude. Give you guys a chance to recoup. But come on up here. I'm going to sit up here by myself all show. Say something. I don't care what your point is. Again, just be eloquent. follow the community guidelines, play nice. Let's have a conversation. There used to be a thing called cordial civil discourse in this world, where people with opposing viewpoints can discuss things, speak to your mind, maybe come to some common ground, knowing that it's impossible for all of us to literally believe the same things. Who would want that? That'd be insane. But we need some kind of common ground. We need something. I mean, after all, we're all here in this thing together. We're not going anywhere. I mean, unless you believe this whole Elon Musk thing. Maybe you believe we're going to Mars. But either way, other than that, we're all here. We have to find some way of coexisting, I think. Or there's the other option. We can just keep tearing each other apart mindlessly, needlessly. We can just keep playing into the basically divide and conquer tactics that are being employed on us by the powers that shouldn't be. We could do that too. It's an option. You have a choice. I think you have a choice. You know, free will, that type of thing. But again, what do I know? All right, like I said, we're going to take a brief musical interlude. Get on up here. I'm going to regroup. That was a lot. Where's my song? I have a specific song I want to play. I'm inspired to play a certain song. It's not here. Darn it. All right, I'll play this one. This one will work. All right, I'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere. Much love, everybody.
There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Okay? Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, Home Depots, end to end. There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, end to end. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, Home Depots, end to end. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? There is no curvature on Earth. There is no curvature on Earth. Okay? Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile. Think about a Home Depot, it's not a mile long. 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, end to end, 25,000 Home Depots, Home Depots, end to end. Level is level everywhere on that sphere. Level is level